let's ride to maybe don't view it as negativity, view it as positivity for the other guys, because we're going to hit some wide receivers rank that we should maybe let somebody else take.
I know. Well, I'm going to let you take Stefan Diggs. I know you were talking about him earlier in the show. He's a fantastic wide receiver. There's nothing wrong about him. But last season he had just 2 games where he topped 90 receiving yards. And if everybody is coming out of the woodwork and saying that Gabe Davis, who was on the hype train last year, that if he's going to have this breakout season, well, how do you support all these guys? Not only do you have Gabe Davis emerging, you got the Dawson there. James Cook was drafted this season and figures to be involved in the passing game as well. So I look at Stefan Diggs as a great football player whose average draft position does not match the production that we're likely to see out of him. And it's unfortunate because he's been one of my favorite players, even when he was with the Vikings. But it pains me to do so, but I'm going to look for some other guys at the wide receiver position.
I'm going to stick in that division and go with the player that I think his ADP is just too high right now, and that's Jalen Waddle. Like, he's a great talent, but he had around 140 targets last year, and he just cracked 1,000 yards. I don't think he's going to get that kind of volume now with Tyreek Hill there. And last year, he only had 3 end zone targets. He's not a big touchdown scorer either. I think he's just getting overdrafted going as a top 20 wide receiver.
I'm going to drop down several rounds, guys, and talk about Elijah Moore, because right now he's going in a range where you can get a Brandon Cooks, where you can get an Amon-Ra St. Brown, or a Rashad Bateman, and it's just too rich for me if I'm in a league with big-time believers in the 2022 Jets passing game. Congratulations to those guys. I love the player. The situation just doesn't scream 7th or 8th round to me. There's just too much value that I can get elsewhere.
Well, a guy who's going around that spot in the 8th round for me is Alan Lazard. And he's the wide receiver 1 in Green Bay on paper. He's sort of the next man up because Devontae Adams isn't there. But without Adams, I don't see Aaron Rodgers just leaning on one guy. They're going to spread the football around. And so there are guys, look, Sammy Watkins is there. Randall Cobb is there. I would rather take a shot at Romeo Doubs a couple rounds later and just bank on that upside. But the idea of thinking that Alan Lazard's going to step in and somehow absorb all this opportunity, I'm just not buying it.
Yeah, 12 loves zeroing in on one guy when that one guy is Devontae Adams. It's significantly different.